So it's a Swift Carrera 132. This is up for $79.95.
And it's got the table on the side, which allows you to bring the outdoor in. I do like that. You've got your fly screen that comes across. This model is quite different, and this is a model I think that David would like, and let me tell you why. So you've got your table that comes into the top here at the side, which I think is really good. Your built-in bin, which again I think is a bit genius. But this model is quite different, and I want to show you why it's quite different. So you've got a nice storage locker up above here, but why I think David would like this one is because it's got a little table behind the driver's chair. It's got some magazine storage, it's got USB and plug sockets on top of the table. But I think for David that would really work, because he would put his laptop on there or put a book, and it's got a big cupboard underneath which actually he could store some of his electrical equipment. Probably not big enough for all of his electrical equipment, but that's another story. But I think he would actually really like that model. He'd like having the table there, because then he could sit and work at the front and not be pestered by me watching my soap operas at the back.
Even pop your laptop on, handy power. Nice little area there.
You'll see here that this one is a 6-speed manual. The range does come in automatic as well, although it is an additional cost for the automatic.
Fiat Ducato cab, 2024 model. Let's see some of the differences in ours. Nothing major really, it doesn't look massively different. I'll have a sit in the driver's seat, see if it feels any different in a moment. Cup holders there, USB 12 volt, the control centre. Got the pull-up blinds. Now I quite like those. Yeah, nice fun. Just having a sit in the front of the cab here. Don't really notice any massive difference in terms of driving position or anything to the kind of Elddis we've got. So pretty much the same. Similar position. The seat's not going any further back. It does feel nice to have a little bit of space behind you though, because obviously on ours we've got the cabinet for the fridge just behind, so it does feel slightly different, but yeah, it's very similar. Same sort of controls. It does have an electric parking brake. See the steering wheel controls there, just slightly different. Look a little bit more modern actually to the ones we've got, but not something we massively use, to be fair. Then we've got the control for the heating and things there. Interesting to see it's got the same controls. It's not an awful lot's changed on these vans really. Yes, they've changed the instrument panel a bit, but you can sort of see its roots, can't you? Got the all-important airbag there as well on the passenger side.
This model has got a medium-sized kitchen, so it has got a little bit more workspace than some of them. What you'll see there is you've got your sink and you've got your hob. Let me just show you those. Again, really good deep sink here. You could fit pots, pans, plates, etc. in there. Really good. You've got your 2 hob burner, and I think, you know, for most meals that you're doing, you've 2 hob burners probably enough. If you were doing a lot more cooking, things like Sunday lunch, etc., you may want to go for the bigger hob, but that seems perfectly fine. You've got your big cupboard underneath, your cutlery drawer, your oven, and 2 drawers underneath. 2 big cupboards up above. 2 plug sockets and 2 USBs and a couple of LEDs underneath. Another different feature here that we saw on one of the other models, which is a really big cupboard at the side, so the door swings open like that, and inside you can see you've got your table stowed in there, but you've also got this range of shelves as well. What you could actually do is use it a bit like a pantry. You could put all of your tins on shelves and you could pull them in and out, a bit like a Lazy Susan type effect. But it's really good, I like that. Moving beyond that cupboard, you've then got your wet room, which is standard on these models.
The tip-up sink.
And when you look towards the back of the van here, another thing that you'll notice is you also have another cupboard here at the side, which is adjoining the kitchen area with a big cupboard underneath. I like that because you can actually sit on the bench seats. Let me demonstrate. Sit on the bench seats, you can lean on this, you could put a cup of coffee, a glass of wine, nibbles on there, and it's quite nice. I think it just adds to it. It gives you a little bit more versatility. After the wet room on the driver's side, you've got your Dometic fridge freezer,
which will open either this way or indeed that way. It's the freezer compartment which you can actually remove as well.
And you've got a big cupboard underneath. Let me just show you. It's a big hanging wardrobe there underneath, and it's got your table leg stowed in there.
Nice large overhead cupboards there. Control panel, touch screen, gives you the status of everything, and you can get more information. Back, control the power, temperature, water, etc. And do any setup like that. Quite neat little unit, that. Quite responsive as well. Nice and easy to touch and to control things there. A little bit of storage space, your keys and things in.
You have got on this van a long seating area at the back, so you've got 2 bench seats which will make into a double bed, and these are the longer style ones. I think David could possibly fit in these. 4 of these handy magazine racks, so you've got 2 on the passenger side and 2 on the driver's side. You've got your 3 lockers up above, both on the passenger side and the driver's side. You've got your plug, TV aerial and USB socket, and again some nice LED lighting there. You've got your 2 windows which come with your fly screen and your blinds. And on this model with the barn doors, you also have the useful storage area to put odds and sods in at the top there, and again the fly screen. That really does make a difference when you've got your barn doors at the back, especially in places like Scotland where you've got midges. On this model you also have a table that's built into the back. This flips down. I'll just demonstrate that. There we go. Nice little table. That's quite useful if you sat on the bench seats. You could put a glass of wine on there, but if you sat outside, equally you could put a glass of wine on there as well. What I really like in these models is the use of colour and texture. I think it really does lift it and make it feel a lot more premium. And what I mean by that is you've got this dark grey fabric moving into the cream fabric, back to the grey, and when you move into the kitchen area, this then comes into a dark grey wood effect, and I just think it makes it feel a lot more premium. As I've said to you before, the lockers as well are worth noting. So they have a wood effect at the top, a strip of dark grey, chrome and the gloss cream. They've got a really good feel about them and catch. They feel solid and they feel robust. By Jove, it feels long enough. I think David could lie on this bed front to back. I think there's enough room here.
Do you know what? That's not a bad size for me. Do you know what? That fits me quite well. I'm quite impressed. Actually quite like this one. Yeah. It feels nice and open and airy. which is what I like. But you've not got, when we look down that way, we haven't got kind of anything blocking us. It just flows through nicely. The panelling and things as well finished. Be interesting to see how well it copes up with like the dog shaking muck and things like that on it. But it's nice that the windows are a little bit higher as well, albeit they are smaller windows. But yes, I like this, and we've got 1, 2, 3 lockers at this side, 1, 2, 3 lockers at that side. You've got some speakers for the radio. You've got a cracking big roof light there.
Out of all of the models that there are here, I think this possibly would be the one, if David was here, is the one that he would pick. And I think it is for a few things. I think that cupboard at the front, I think the tables, the 2 additional tables and the fly screen, I think that's what David would really like in these.
So the Swift Carrera 132 is the one that's made it onto the nearly made it list. Perhaps on next year's model they'll have addressed the challenges we see with it. First one is the storage. There's not really anywhere to put anything along. You could probably stuff it under the drawers, but the drawers are actually spoiling that void. And second bit on storage as well, we're using a load of space inside to store gas bottles, and it would be much better just to have an underslung gas tank. And a few more options on the van perhaps, but trying to keep things simple. But other than that, it's a really nice van and well worth considering, especially if the things that we've picked up don't bother you. Feels nice, lots of space, love the fly screens, the clever little storage, mixed views on the washroom. I'm not sure whether the drop down sink is a good or a bad idea, so they just feel a little bit femmer, but like the principle of it. Love the 2-way opening fridge. Lots of good on this van, lots of really good on this van, and a nice feel to it. But unfortunately, it's not made the shortlist this time, but we will come and have a look at the model next time and see if it does then. So it's a Swift Carrera 132 that's made it onto our nearly made it list. Nearly made it means it's something, if there's a new model out and they've changed some of the things we didn't like about it, such as put the gas tank underneath, then we would consider it. So one perhaps for the future.